Hey guys, this is episode 17 of I'm Just an Asshole Sometimes. I'm your host, Clarissa, and I have some really interesting, weird, funny, you name it, Reddit stories coming on up. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, I apologize, but I'm going to try to clean up the language so YouTube won't automatically demonetize every single episode, but I don't know, I'll try my best. This one is from AITA. So AITA, for being upset my significant other needs help around the house. My wife is a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids. 2 have autism, 2 are in school. I'll be the first to admit she's overwhelmed. This is a full-time job. My job is a rotating shift every 4 weeks, working underground. For over 10 years, I've worked long hours and come home and never said anything about dinner not on the stove, the house is a wreck, etc. I account for 100% of the income. My duties are dishes and trash. These are fine. I don't expect her to take out the trash. However, when I'm at work every other weekend, I'm expected to work at the house, putting the past 2 weeks worth of laundry away. I work long hours in a dangerous environment and have to come home and be pressed to catch up on dishes or pressed to do laundry on my time off. I mow the yard, etc. I'm tired. I feel like if she's got time to watch episode after episode of series after series on Netflix, Prime, Paramount, Apple, she can probably do a load of laundry a day. That includes putting it away. Probably have dinner made. I think she's spoiled. I don't know what to do. She has a desire to be the best. She is the most involved in school, sports, etc. She's never satisfied and craves more attention from everyone. Needs constant petting and reassurance, communication. I just want to work, come home, and relax. I'm also willing to pay for a housekeeper to come. My time is precious. When I'm not at work, I don't want to work. Please note, I have no hobbies, no people I hang out with. When I'm not at work, I'm home. She thinks I'm in AH, and she does 98% of everything for our kids. This is accurate, but I provide 100% of the things she takes for granted. A nice house, a nice vehicle, all needs, most wants provided for. She has $8,000 worth of jewelry on her rings. Pretty sure there are a bunch of women that are raising 3 kids, probably working, that would trade places with her. Okay, first of all, I don't know what the conflict is, necessarily. Yeah, it sounds like she wants him to do more, but when he's at home, he does his, I don't know, share, so to speak, and he's willing to hire a housekeeper. I don't know. It sounds like he's just exhausted, and with his downtime, he just wants that to be his downtime. So take it to the comments. If your only contribution to your shared household and children is financial, can't you just do that with alimony and child support? Then you'd have all day and night to sit alone and relax without people needing anything from you. True. Someone else, he is burned out. This guy needs vacation. I have nothing to say about his wife as I don't know her situation, but the post reeks from how tired of life this guy is. That's what I was getting at too. He just seems tired and kind of just doesn't care anymore. Then someone else, I have to agree, the tone of this isn't angry, bitter, or smug. It's just tired. There's a resigned and exhausted note to the whole post that screams burnout. Yep. Another one, I could maybe buy that, except for his comment implying so many women would be jumping to the chance to work their butts off in exchange for some jewelry. This isn't the 50s. Very true. Someone put, yeah, he has offered to pay for a housekeeper. He quite literally has no life outside of work and home, and at least the wife is involved with school and sports. He is burnt out. It will not do anybody in the house any good if dad loses concentration on the job and gets hurt, or worse. Get a housekeeper and a marriage counselor. It is not healthy for any marriage to be in the house all day and night without a break. They should at least have a date night here and there and some other communication than just what chores need to be done. This is not a healthy dynamic, and I think both of them need to be more communicative. If worse comes to worse, OP can always cut back his hours in order to pick up more chores at home, and his wife can pick up some part-time hours. And then ESH, which means everyone sucks here. And someone says, I completely agree with you. They need a housekeeper and a marriage counselor. I don't understand why having a housekeeper is not in the cards already. I mean, if they can afford it, then yes, do it. I don't know. It just... Sorry, that's Gus. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for this guy. He just seems just exhausted in so many ways. I can relate to that. Someone put, she wants constant communication. What rhymes with which, and then sarcasm. Isn't talking to and about children all day enough? I appreciate that he's doing a lot and wants his vacation to himself, but where's her vacation? I've got 3 kids, one with a mild autistic type developmental delay. I spent the first 7 years of his life at home 100% to ensure he had his therapies and was migrated into normal school and keeping up. I didn't get a break either. Kids are always there. Can't just know for 2 weeks. And I did it on scraps, government assistance, crappy flat, caught the bus. I would understand the issue if there is money to spend. Everyone is burned out. Just get the housekeeper and some sort of daycare. F the $8K of jewelry off. Invest your pay into improving both your lives. Exactly. I don't know. I find that weird that he says that she has $8K worth of jewelry on her fingers. Who cares? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think he's trying to flex or something. And then someone said burnout can transform people. So if he really has burnout, do not take his words as his true point of view. To give you an example, it isn't rare that people in parental burnout shake their baby and or find themselves hating the shit out of them when they are awake, which can include beating, screaming, insulting. Just to be precise, I'm not even talking about people that hate their children. I'm talking about people that may love their children a lot. Burnout isn't pretty. That's why it's really important to see a therapist. Exactly. Burnout is very, very real. Okay, this one has 4 awards. You don't think she's burned out taking care of special needs kids? That alone accounts for why some things don't get done, and she needs his help. He can't just not parent because he has a job. When does she get a day off? He's a stick. Well, it rhymes with stick, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I totally see that. It's like she must be really exhausted. And then anyway, they continue on. He literally has had a week's vacation during which she took the children to her mother's house. He got mad because she asked him to clean up after himself when she was gone. Women now work and still do the majority of the housework and childcare. We do more work than men overall, usually for the benefit of men, and that's in addition to the reproductive burden, so please spare me. I don't feel sorry for men who feel entitled to women's unending labor. Going to work is a minimum required, especially when you have kids. She is working too, more than him. Stop with the false victimhood. You don't have empathy for her because she's a woman, not the other way around. Yeah, good perspective. Okay, this one has 2 awards. Yeah, her job never ends. She doesn't get to get off work and go home or off on the weekends. Her house and children have become a 24/7 job. She can't get away because she thinks or doesn't think he should have to work once he's home because his off time is valuable. She doesn't have off time probably, and her house and kids are in an inescapable job that has also crossed over into becoming her whole life. True. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and honestly, I don't get a break either. And it can be so hard because the lines are so blurred. that even if I do like take a nap, it's like you hear your baby cry and immediately you're up because your baby's crying. It's just instilled in you. It's like I don't have an outside job to, go to work. It's all home, and it makes it harder to turn that switch off to somewhat relax. I mean, even for me, it's hard to sleep. So, I don't know, definitely can relate to this one. Okay, I think this one would be seriously up there with one of my biggest fears. So this comes from the marriage subreddit. My husband threatens to send me to a psychiatric hospital whenever we fight. We've been married for 10 months only. I caught my husband on a dating app and confronted him about it. Instead of admitting, he kept saying I'm crazy and I might have borderline personality disorder because I'm acting crazy. He threatened to send me to a psychiatric ward. He's a resident physician, to which I slapped him on his face, which I admit I did out of extreme anger and hurt. I gave this man everything, left my family behind, moved to another country. I cook, clean, look after his family, deal with his family's bullshit that they throw at me, and he can't keep his stick in his pants. Now he's threatening to send me away. During the fight, things got escalated, and I kept struggling and kicking to get out of the apartment just so I could breathe because he blocked the door, and so I couldn't move. He took his phone out and started making videos for evidence of abuse, and I'm shook, staring at him. He also said if I divorce him, he'll make sure I don't get anything, and he'll make sure I end up in a psychiatric hospital. See, that is terrifying. He's absolutely abusing his power of being a physician, especially one that works at a psychiatric hospital. I don't know what I'd do. I would try to document as much as I can, bring it to his superiors that he's using it against me. I couldn't imagine how crazy she must feel, because here he is, the psychiatric doctor, so he knows exactly what buttons to push to make her just feel like she's going crazy. I couldn't imagine. This guy is really, really sick. Okay, for the comments. Big yikes. Run. Dude is gaslighting you, emotionally abusive, and super controlling. And someone said, I see people misuse the term here all the time, but here we have an honest textbook example of gaslighting. Yes, I'm sharing this with my friends who keep telling me that the definition of gaslighting is difficult to grasp. And then TikTok has really confused people into thinking gaslighting is just when someone says something you don't like, laugh out loud. I have a coworker who asked her teenage daughter to do the dishes, and the daughter accused her of gaslighting. And she was like, what? True. It's like I can't stand when people use the wrong terminology. Someone said, OMG, I was just going to say that so many people easily misuse the term gaslight, narcissist, psycho, sociopath, especially sociopath. It's highly unlikely to come across one. They are rare. I follow this marriage and family therapist on YouTube. His podcast and YouTube page is called Psychology in Seattle. I actually watched Dr. Kirk Honda, so I don't know, he has some good stuff, so I'd recommend him. He's very informative, and I've learned a great deal. Actually, honestly, I've learned so much about myself through his YouTube reaction videos. I know it's not replacement therapy, but his knowledge has been more helpful than any therapy session I've had. Highly recommend. And then let's see. Just going through and seeing. OP, I would contact my family if that's at all desirable and organize a way to get away, home, and divorce. Sending you thoughts and internet hug. And someone put, he's probably cheating to boot. Yep. Someone said, jumping on the top comment to say, you need to have someone draft a medical power of attorney, giving the power to someone you trust. See if the lawyer can indicate that your husband cannot commit you. Or perhaps in order to, he needs the consent of 2 other specific individuals you trust. Exactly, she needs to get her ducks in a row, so this guy just can't have her committed. So that would be terrifying. Someone put, in the U.S., a person's spouse cannot commit them. A power of attorney is not necessary and should not be made for this reason. Yeah, but what if this guy is, I don't know, talking to his colleagues and telling them stuff that are lies about his wife, and he gets a colleague to commit her. So it's not necessarily on his hands, it's on his colleague's hands. I don't know. Someone said, you're right, but then they can call and claim, I'm trying to think of another word, self-unaliving behavior or such, and that the person can absolutely be held for 72 hours. I've seen it happen. Granted, an officer or such with some sense would require proof, as I've seen it swing in the other direction as well, where the officer had to wait until the person who sent in the complaint emailed a screenshot of the line where said person claimed to want to hurt themselves before coming in to take him to the hospital. But my mother's case, her then husband had her sent away in a very similar situation as OP's by merely saying she was acting crazy and feared that she'd do something to herself when nothing of the sort was said. She caught him cheating and he turned it around on her. She was upset and quite emotional. They wouldn't be able to keep them past an involuntary hold, but 3 days in a psych ward in the hospital has to absolutely suck. Yeah, I don't know. I hope she can get her ducks in a row and get out of this marriage. It's like, man, my heart goes out to her because I could not imagine having that kind of stress on my plate, along with just a crappy marriage and a crappy husband and all that. It's just, ugh. And I can't stand when people that have jobs like a physician use it to absolutely abuse their power of authority. It's gross. Okay. AITA for telling my brother and his boyfriend to stop misleading people with their wedding rings when they're not actually married. If you hear that xylophone, it's my 2-year-old. Oh no, it sounds pretty cool. It's like he plays it really well, actually. It's a little caterpillar xylophone, but anyway, back to the post. I, 26 female, had an older brother, 27 male, who's been dating another guy, 30 male, for about 4 years. I don't have any issue with my brother being gay, but I have one with him wearing a wedding ring in order to pretend that he's married to him. You see, we live in a country where gay marriage still isn't allowed, Romania. But despite this, my brother and his boyfriend started wearing wedding rings recently. When I asked my brother about it, he told me that despite not being able to do it legally, they already consider themselves married spiritually, and they're hoping that one day gay marriages will be allowed to do legally as well, either by leaving the country or waiting till gay marriages are made legal here as well. Well, I think this is nice. I told them that they shouldn't be wearing wedding rings till they actually get officially married, as I think it's kind of distasteful. He told me that they're just a symbol of their love and that they're not hurting anyone by wearing them, but I disagreed. They're actively misleading people into thinking that they're actually married and frankly just making a mockery out of marriage. My brother told me that he doesn't care what other people, including me, think about them wearing wedding rings, and maybe they should just mind their own business, then left furiously. Not gonna lie, I think his comment here was kind of out of line, as all I did was give my opinion on people wearing wedding rings when they're actually not married yet, and he seemed to take it personally. His boyfriend also contacted me later and told me that their romantic lives doesn't concern me and to stay out of it. AITA. Yes. You know, it's like they're not hurting anyone, and in their hearts, they are married, so why can't they wear wedding rings? It's like, I really don't see what the big issue is, and I don't think they're making a mockery out of marriage. I think a lot of people that actually are married make a mockery out of marriage more so than these guys are doing it. So it's stupid. It's like, let them have their wedding rings. Just, wow. Okay, let's see for the comments. I don't know. Let's see. That's kind of accurate. Fellow Romanian here. Moved out of the country years ago. Well, it's a beautiful country and I love it. Love and miss my family. It's also full of bigoted, judgmental, religious nuts whose backwards thinking leaves no room for progress. Pretty much the Bible Belt of Europe. Sad and disappointing to see that young people like her are not more open-minded. Some things never change. YTAOP. Mind your own business, and if you can't be supportive of your brother, keep yourself and your homophobia away from him. I agree. Yep, I have a family member that's gay. Been with their partner for somewhere around 30 years. They had a commitment ceremony because gay marriage wasn't acknowledged at the time. I would never tell them they weren't married. I would imagine they've been together longer than most straight couples here. Why would you even make a comment about a piece of jewelry? Women here have worn gold bands for years on their ring finger, thumb, pinky. It's a fashion thing with them. Apologize today. Then someone said, I used to wear an engagement/wedding ring on purpose to stop creepers from hitting on me at work. It worked 99% of the time. Nothing else did. Is that not making a mockery of marriage? If so, I'm not sorry. YTA. Actually, it's like when I wore my engagement ring while at work, and it's like, I swear sometimes it made it worse where guys would hit on you because they know they can't have you. So it's more of a, I don't know, chase, a hunt, something for them. And it's like, there's no way in hell I was gonna, I don't know, cheat on my now husband. It's just weird. Sometimes people want what they can't have. And it's gross. They don't respect boundaries. They don't respect when you say, I'm engaged, I'm married. No. It's like, I did an experiment one time on Facebook where I put that I was single. I didn't get any DMs, nothing. But when I put back that I was engaged to my now husband, that's when I got a flood of DMs and everything. So I think there's something to it on people wanting more of a challenge, so to speak. It's disgusting. Let's see. I would argue that couples that get married and are miserable the whole time and constantly hurt each other are much more of a mockery to marriage than two people that love and are truly committed to each other. I agree. Does OP think that the government prohibits gays from wearing rings on their ring fingers? Every homosexual is required to have a hand inspection quarterly to ensue they have not been masquerading as though they deserve equal rights, lest they make a mockery of an institution with a 42% failure rate. I know that was good. Someone else, now check how many marriages end not due to divorce, but due to DV. Not a fun statistic in the slightest. I'm Romanian as well. OP, I know people that didn't marry legally, so they don't lose some pension from their previous marriage. They even had vow renewals at the church and always wore wedding rings. They lived together for 25 years until one of them passed. Do you think they made a mockery of marriage? Or is it fine because they were straight? True. Maybe it's more of an issue than just marriage. Maybe she does have some sort of issue with her brother being gay. I don't know. But I don't know, to tell someone who has been with their partner 4 years and they're wearing rings because I don't blame them. They want that symbol of their love and kind of like, hey, I'm taken. And I don't see how that's a mockery. It's them wishing that they had the same rights as everyone else for marriage. And it's sad when people can't even have the ability to marry someone else because, their country doesn't see it as legal or whatever. It's really sad. I don't know. a lot of ways, the world still needs to change drastically and catch up with the times. AITA for telling my son that his brother is just simply better at life than him. I, 50 male, have 2 sons, Daniel, 22, and Jackson, 20. We have our fair share of problems, but I love both of them with all my heart no matter what. Even as a child, Daniel had a superiority complex. He's always felt the need to excel at everything, except for sports due to his asthma. He started law school last year, and I'm very proud of him. Jackson, on the other hand, is just a natural. There's no other way to put it. He doesn't need to put much effort into anything, yet he still comes out on top. After graduating from high school, he started working for me at my business, which is flourishing thanks in large part to Jack. A year ago, Jackson met his now fiancée, and we're preparing for the wedding this summer. Everyone in our family is very happy for them, except for Daniel. Daniel and Jack get along rather well. There's no feud between them, but I could always tell that Daniel had always been jealous of Jack. So I went on a business trip to New England last weekend, and of course I met up with Daniel. While I was there, he was quite cold to me the whole time, not like he usually is. After a while, I asked him what was wrong, and he told me that he hasn't taken it lightly that my wife and I are going to pay for Jack's wedding, and that we are going to help them out with buying their house as well. I was taken aback. I told him that his mother and I will do the same thing for him as well when it's his time to get married. Daniel told me that it is disgusting that we're paying for the wedding but not for his tuition. I told him that it was his decision to go to an Ivy League school and an even more expensive law school, not ours. He accused me of favoring Jack, but I was having none of it. I told Daniel that he should get past that. Jack is naturally more apt to life than he is, and frankly, he should be thinking about settling down as he keeps jumping from relationship to relationship. Daniel has a lot of girlfriends, but none of them lasted longer than half a year. He said that I've just admitted to preferring his brother. I couldn't take it anymore. I told my son to calm down, think about how silly he is behaving, and I'll pay for his ticket if he wants to come down south for dinner on the weekend, and left. It was hard, but he needs to start accepting reality. He's becoming rather self-centered. I don't want to lose him, but I feel like he keeps pushing us away from him. It's not healthy. I told my sister about it, Daniel's godmother, and she thinks I'm an AH for talking to Daniel like that. Honestly, the only thing that might have made me the AH is that I told him Jack is simply a natural, which he might have taken the wrong way, but he needed to hear that. So, AITA, yeah, it sounds like he's favoring one child over the other, and Jackson, the one he seems to be favoring, I don't know, it's weird. It's like he's working for daddy, so of course he's, I don't know, favored, I don't know, but his other son is in law school in an Ivy League school. I mean, that's really hard to get into, shows that he has the grades, he's smart, and Jackson's 20. He's getting married extremely young, and I have a feeling down the road he's really going to regret that. And I also think it's stupid that the parents are paying for the wedding and putting money towards buying Jackson's house when Daniel could use that money for his tuition rather than waiting how long if he ever decides to get married. And then, I don't know, kind of dogging on Daniel for, I don't know, not having a steady girlfriend. Well, that's what your early 20s are for. It's for dating. It's for seeing what you like, what you don't like. And I don't know, sometimes it takes a while for some people, sometimes it doesn't. But in my experience, just from seeing people that I've seen get married around 20 or their early 20s, and then, I don't know, I'm in my 30s now, and seeing these people in their 30s, that's when a lot of them are starting to divorce, because you change a lot in your early 20s versus, like going from your early 20s to your early 30s. You change so much. And I don't know, I kind of think sometimes that's a recipe for failure. In these subreddits, the ones with infidelity and whatnot, the biggest ones I see are people that got married early 20s. They're now, I don't know, 30 something. They've only been with each other, and they start, kind of stepping out of their marriage because they never had that experience to see what else is out there, because they want to see if the grass is actually greener on the other side. So why not just test that out in your early 20s? But that's just me. So let's take it to the comments. How is Jackson simply better at life? He's working for daddy. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong working for a parent, especially since Jackson seems very competent. But don't disguise nepotism as being better at life. YTA. Daniel got into an Ivy League college, so he's hardly a failure. Jackson gets handed a career and has his wedding and part of his home paid for, and you don't contribute towards Daniel's tuition? Are you trolling us? That's what I thought. Let's see. Next one. Seriously, also, Jackson is getting married at 20 years old, and Daniel's in law school at 22. In 3 or 4 years, Daniel will be a catch. He already is. And Jackson will be a father twice over, and his brain won't even have finished developing yet. Who's the natural again? Natural at what exactly? YTA. Exactly. And the next one. And in 10 years, Jackson's wife will file for divorce and want a piece of the family business. Jackson will move back home with his parents, where his mom will do the heavy lifting / parenting during his visitation time with their grandkids, while Daniel has been made partner at a law firm and is planning his wedding to another partner at the firm. Life's going to slap OP in the face. Yep. And another one. And Daniel will go out of his way to represent the wife in the divorce and take the family to the cleaners. And then someone said, I will watch that Lifetime movie. And someone said, I will fund that Lifetime movie. And someone said, oh, I'll be the background actor who walks by eating a muffin while a conflict happens publicly. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Sounds like Jackson is a natural at doing exactly what his father did, which is apparently the only benchmark for success. Sarcasm. You're the YTA, and hope Daniel doesn't give you a single cent once he's earning that lawyer money. You'll decide to be nice to him all of a sudden. Yeah. And someone said, I think you hit it right, sugar. Daniel going off and getting all that education, delaying gratification, and not popping out babies right away is galling to dad. Daniel's success just makes dad's success in life seem so much smaller. Anti-intellectualism is rife in the USA, especially in the smaller towns, rural areas. 10 years, dad will be whining that Daniel won't share his wealth with him. Yeah. And then someone said, and not popping out babies right away is galling to dad. Seriously though, Jackson's better at life at 20 because he got handed a job and is now getting married and having kids. Daniel's 22 and has not even finished school. Maybe OP should settle down a bit. ETA, his house and marriage are being funded by his dad as well, when Daniel got nothing. Yep. So, I don't know. I think he's kind of setting up Jackson for failure. I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion that 10 years, Jackson will definitely be getting divorced from this wife, and it will probably be pretty ugly, and Daniel will be way more successful than Jackson. But I don't know. I have 2 boys, and they're 20 months apart. My thing is, I never want to pit them against each other or make one feel like they're the golden child and the other like they're worthless. I never, ever, ever want to make either one feel like they're, I don't know, below their brother. I couldn't imagine doing that. And it's just sickening to see people who actually do that. It's like, love both your kids equally. It's like having one of your kids as the golden child is so disgusting. Okay, I'm not sure if this next one is real or someone's trolling, but this is Best of Redditor Updates. My wife makes me wear a chastity belt, and it's not for sexual reasons. My wife makes me wear a chastity belt, and it's not for sexual reasons. My wife goes on business trips and is very paranoid that if she doesn't have her eyes on me every second of every day, I'll screw anything that moves. I'm a loving husband and father, and I love her, but I don't know how to deal with her. I don't want a divorce. I don't believe in therapy, and if I suggested it, she'd complain about it and accuse me of trying to divorce her. We have 2 kids, and she says she wants another, so she wants me to be fertile. That's her excuse. I do not like this thing at all. It chafes, and I get no satisfaction from it. I'm also paranoid that someone will find out. To top it off, I have to sit and pee. So it gets really awkward at work if people think I have to take lots of poops all day. I know this isn't Reddit advice, but I just wanted to dump this shit out here, confess to the world before I lose my mind. I haven't told anyone else. Here's an image of me in it, NSFW, and it says OP here. Link is in the comments. Sort by oldest, so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm effing depressed. I'm guilty. I can't man up and just tell her to stop it. Edit, just to clarify, no, I haven't, or I have never cheated on her. No, I don't have a porn addiction. No, we're not sadists. Okay, and now for an update. So my wife got back on Monday, and she was off for a week. Tomorrow she's heading out again. She told me to put it on tonight, and I told her no, sorry. She huffed and puffed and threatened me, then yelled at me, then cried. I told her I smashed both devices with the hammer, and now she's at her sister's house and refuses to come home. She's going to have to just deal with it. I have a list of therapists and a lawyer on standby. I'm a happy man and staying strong. I just wanted to give you all a follow-up. I did take your advice. Thank you. And then another update. I'll make this short and simple. I found out my wife was cheating on me. Multiple text messages, voicemails, emails, and pictures from her cell phone, all confirming this. Got a lawyer, made backups of all evidence, told her nothing of what I know. She cried and asked why I asked for a divorce. My answer, I don't trust you, and I do not love you anymore. My lawyer will be in contact with you. I moved out to an efficiency apartment and left the car that was in her name. I'm taking the bus to work now. I've rebuilt my life. My lawyer guarantees this will be the easiest alimony case he's ever had after the overwhelming evidence, but possibly not custody of my children. I never mentioned the chastity belt to the lawyer. It's the ace up my sleeve, but I've got audio of her demanding I put it on at the very least, and I have full visitation rights. And her making 5 times what I make, she can't squeeze child support out of me more than she will be paying me. So I'm sitting in my living room on a folding chair, watching Hulu on my laptop, eating pizza out of the cardboard box. I've got a case of beer and a space heater next to me, and I'm effing happy. I just wanted to thank all of you for helping me overcome my issues. This has been a worthwhile confession. Signing off. Good night and Happy New Year. Edit. Yes, I'm in counseling as well. My health insurance amazingly covers a monthly therapist visit. My first visit was before Christmas, and it was the best gift I got this year. Update 3. Thanks to all, I can't believe it. Logged on to my throwaway account after 8 months, and I have hundreds of messages asking for an update. Things are great. Moved to Alaska over the summer. Got engaged to a really nice girl. Spilled the beans to her when she asked about the divorce. I just showed her the Reddit post and let her go on autopilot until she got sick of it. She's got 3 kids of her own and herself left an abusive situation. I'm really glad I met her. My kids stayed with me over the summer break while I got settled in. They did not want to leave after we went out hiking and camping in the wilderness out here. Nope, no full custody. But I'm supporting them. Talk to them almost every day over text, Skype, Google+, Hangouts. I'm a boat mechanic now, making tons more money than I did. But like a loaf of bread is $5. Don't know what else to say. It feels awkward dredging up the past. It's all behind me now, and thank you for all your support. I'll stop asking for updates. Laugh out loud. Wow. It's like, I can't believe that. Of course, she wants him to wear a chastity belt, and she's the one cheating all along. And that's usually how it goes. Okay, for the comments. This was effing mental. How insane do you have to be to force your partner to wear a chastity belt and believe you are in the right? Really glad to hear OOP got his life back on track and is now happy. Yeah, the projection was crazy. I'm cheating, so I must take all measures to ensure that my husband can't do the same. Another person, that's pretty much why my ex-husband freaked the hell out and would say he wanted to divorce me when I went on work trips without him and missed a single check-in, which he wanted every 15 minutes or so. Jeez. Someone else. I knew someone in your situation. She found out after the fact that he had installed key loggers on all of her devices too. Ugh. Someone said he mentioned that, talked about it a lot, along with things like how he knew how to beat somebody up to leave bruises and other things that were veiled threats. At the time, I used a Mac though, and I guess there wasn't a great keylogger out for it. It was a while ago. I imagine there is now. He always let me know of things he could do to me by talking about them more obliquely or something someone else might do. Jeez. But anyway, I read this story and thought, like, wow, like, this is crazy. And even if this one's fake, I'm sure there's someone else in the world that, I don't know, has a story similar to this, because, I don't know, it's crazy, but I can see it actually being, I don't know, somewhat true. But I didn't even know they, like, chastity belts were still, like, a thing. That was more of, like, I don't know, medieval times, but whatever. I just find that so odd. AITA for telling my brother that his wife was faking a pregnancy. My brother and I have never been close, so my sister-in-law hasn't been either. However, one day after coming to a luncheon with our family, she announced she was pregnant. At first, everyone, including me, was excited about having a new niece or nephew. However, as she supposedly went onto the pregnancy, 5-6 months, she wasn't growing, was drinking alcohol, never had any ultrasounds, even though had hospital appointments my brother was never allowed to go to, was still bending, heaving things for her job. I think heavy things for her job. When asked if her job knew she was pregnant, she said she never told them, among other things. One day I was annoyed at her behavior and asked if Anthony, my brother, asked if he ever saw a pregnancy test. He said he didn't. I said to him, I doubt she's pregnant and should confirm she is because she is pregnant. Oh, this is written so awful. I'm sorry. 3 weeks later, I found out that Anthony finds out she's not really pregnant after forcing her to allow him to go to a hospital for a checkup. She did go to a checkup, but not for any pregnancy-related issues. She's saying that I shouldn't have interfered into business I had anything to do with, and now he's demanding a divorce. I said she shouldn't have faked a pregnancy. She said she had a miscarriage that the hospital later said to Anthony said she was never pregnant. AITA Edit, for those asking about information about sister-in-law, I really don't have any. They have always been really private because sister-in-law doesn't like others to know what she's doing and her business. Okay, that was really confusing, but yeah, I don't know. If you have to fake a pregnancy, that's really bad. Then if she's 5-6 months pregnant, there's no way she can have a miscarriage. She would have to basically be induced and go through labor and, yeah, take it from there. I don't know, to lie about something like that and to continue on with that lie, knowing that by, the 9th month, if you don't produce a baby, people are going to start to wonder, like, what's your end goal here? I don't know, it's just really weird. Someone said, just giving the the TLDR. Sister-in-law, I'm pregnant. Everyone, okay. Lots of time passed, and she didn't look pregnant. You, this is weird. Brother, good point. I'll ask the hospital. Sister-in-law, I lied to everyone, and now I continue lying, but you're all the AH for calling me out on my lies. Yeah, I vote NTA. I don't know, I just think that's so weird when people fake a pregnancy. Like, that is just, ugh. And someone said, sounds like she intended to fake a miscarriage for sympathy too. And I don't get that either when people say they're pregnant and then say they have a miscarriage for sympathy, for, I don't know. But it's just really gross. And then, let's see. Someone said, it sounds kind of like the plot from The Stranger by Harlan Coben, except in the book / Netflix TV show, there was a company where you could buy fake pregnancy tests and ultrasound pictures. There actually is companies where you can get fake pregnancy tests, or I think one time I saw somewhere on the internet that you can buy pregnancy tests and have a pregnant woman take them for you so they show up positive, so you can give them to your partner and be like, hey, I'm pregnant, which is messed up because ethically, I don't know how someone could do that. I don't know. And then, yeah, there's ultrasound pictures where you can edit your name out and type yours in there. And, yeah, I don't know. That is so sick. I don't know how I stumbled across this. I think it was on Reddit, and it's like, no way. And sure shit, it's true. But let's see. I don't know. No matter how you slice it, it's messed up. And I don't know. The sister-in-law deserves to be divorced because, it's not a little white lie. It's major. You're lying to your husband about being pregnant, and then, what was she going to do? Was she going to steal someone else's baby? I imagine that if you get to that point, you get pretty desperate. So she'd be the type that would, I don't know, be a womb raider, like one of these women you see on Dateline that lure pregnant women to their house and, hurt them to take their baby. It's insane. Whenever I was visibly very pregnant, it always worried me because I just felt so uncomfortable. Like, is someone going to try to kidnap me for my baby? It's just, the world can be a very scary place, and you can never be too cautious. But people like that are definitely terrifying. AITA for describing my wife as fat to our young children. My wife, 41, and myself, 44, male, both work in education and believe in properly explaining things to our children. 4 female, 5 male. We have agreed to never use because I said so reasoning with them. My wife is unfortunately overweight. Her weight has crept up gradually since having the kids, and I don't think she was even aware of this gain until I gently raised the subject with her last year. She agreed she needs to remedy this. Since then, we have worked together to shift the excess weight, and I'm proud to say she's lost around 10 pounds. But she still has a lot of work to do to reach her target weight. She is best at sticking to her diet if there is no temptation around. So for Easter, I got her flowers instead of an egg. She seemed happy with this. Then yesterday, my children were arguing over a missing Easter egg, each accusing the other of eating it. I knew instantly what had happened. I asked my wife to tell the children where the egg, which was quite big, had really gone, and she admitted she had eaten it. My son, whose egg it was very upset and confused and asked his mom why she had eaten it. My wife replied that she would replace it, which would be impossible as it's now after Easter. I pointed out that she had not answered the question our son asked. He was very upset and kept asking why she had stolen his egg. I felt it was unfair she hadn't properly answered this, as he was getting more distressed. My wife completely threw me under the bus here and said because I wanted chocolate but Daddy didn't want to get me an egg. They already know the importance of healthy eating, so I explained that Mommy was not wanting to eat too much sugar. Several but why questions down the line, I finally said, because Mommy is fat and needs to work on this, but not by eating sweets. I use the word fat because my sister is fat and always says it's not a shameful thing, and she prefers to be described this way. She says to use the word implies there's something wrong with being fat. I probably was an age to presume my wife would feel the same way about this term and wonder if I should have said overweight instead. My wife hasn't spoken to me since this and has seemed very upset. I feel terrible for upsetting her, but I think she was wrong to have taken our little boy's Easter egg without asking, and wrong to have blamed me for her actions. I regret upsetting her and possibly using the wrong terminology, but I had run out of ways to explain to the children why I hadn't bought my wife an egg. I wouldn't have had to explain why I hadn't bought an egg if she hadn't told them this fact, or indeed if she hadn't eaten the egg to begin with. But I do feel I might be an AH for upsetting my wife. Edit. My wife said she didn't want anything for Easter. I felt uncomfortable with this, and so I got her flowers. I don't care about appearance. She has a family history of heart disease, including her older brother who died of a cardiac arrest in his 40s. I worry every day about her health. She watched our 5-year-old accuse his little sister, who was crying, of stealing the egg without admitting she had taken it. Only when I asked outright her did she own up. I feel that that's really unfair to both kids, which is why I asked. Okay, that's messed up. I don't know. I'd be pissed if my husband called me fat to our 4-year-old and 5-year-old. I mean, there's so many different ways to go about it without saying your wife is fat. I mean, think a little. I don't know, but let's take it to the comments. I stopped reading. No way this is real. No one is this big of an AH. But just in case, holy FOP, I don't even know where to start. YTA, a massive, massive AH. And then ETA, for those who keep commenting about how I should have kept reading, OP made a ton of edits to his post after my comment. I still stand by him being an AH here, which was the question. Wow, so he edited a lot out. Interesting. Another one, why is everybody excusing the wife's behavior? She literally stole from her own child, let her other child take the blame for it until OP came in there and then tried to throw him under the bus. She's a grown adult and pathetic. I think maybe she has an issue with maybe binge eating sweets and it really didn't occur to her, honestly. But I mean, yeah, not cool, but I don't know. I can maybe see where she's coming from too. Okay, next one. I'm with you. Letting her kids blame each other and fight over something she did was also an a-hole move. People are correctly identifying OP's mistakes, but not hers. Okay, mom stealing the son's Easter egg is a massive AH move, compounded by not owning up to it. OP was being truthful, although using the word fat is triggering. This choice of terms was unfortunate. Someone else. Also, I find it extremely concerning that she, one, ate the entire Easter egg. It's a lot of chocolate. It sounds very unhealthy. 2, as an adult, she could just go out and buy some chocolate at any time without having to resort to stealing her kids' Easter eggs. I don't think he was that big of an age, just a poor choice of words. That's true, she could have gone out and gotten whatever chocolate she wanted, but chose to steal her kid's egg, which is messed up. And then someone put, how big are Easter eggs in your country? And you're acting like it's crazy that she ate one. Laugh out loud. And then someone put, her husband clearly effing hates her. Like she didn't immediately own up to the kids because he was standing right there. She knew he was going to berate her for having one small chocolate egg. This is flat out abusive. OP, I really hope she leaves you. Okay, then someone put, if she's sneaking that much chocolate, she's probably struggling with binge eating disorder, which means that OP shaming her like this will probably make her spiral much worse. Binging is part of a shame cycle, and you can't fix it with shame. She will probably struggle to lose weight for as long as OP keeps putting her down, because it's a hell of a lot easier to lose weight from a standpoint of self-love than it is from self-hate. Yeah. Let's see. I'm in the States, and I was picturing a Cadbury egg, about half the size of your palm. Definitely intended to be eaten in one sitting. Oh, I'm craving a Cadbury caramel egg. Usually lucky if I can eat like one full one because they're incredibly rich, but every now and then I would just love a Cadbury caramel egg. Not the cream ones, caramel. Okay, let's see. She was willing to have her kids fighting over something she did, not to mention her eating the child's sweets to begin with. There were many ways she could have handled this without sneakily eating her child's holiday candy. I agree, but I have a feeling OP played a huge part in that, with shaming her about pretty much everything. And then someone said, he hates her because he is brutally honest about her health. That makes total sense. Someone put, it's not the Easter egg that's the issue. The issue is that she stole her own small child's treat and then let him get angry at his even smaller sister for the theft, without any intention of owning up. She caused a fight between siblings and was fine with a 4-year-old getting blamed. And all because she couldn't use her words and tell her husband she wanted chocolate for Easter. Yeah, I don't know. I think the husband went about this all wrong. And I think she really shouldn't have stolen her 5-year-old's Easter egg. I don't know. I think that's a whole new level of, messed up. I don't know. And she could just hop in the car and get chocolate whenever she wanted, too. Okay, and that concludes episode 17 of I'm Just an Asshole Sometimes. Hopefully this was a good episode. I don't know, hopefully you enjoyed it. And until next time, don't be an asshole. Hey guys, this is Clarissa, and I'm